Now let's have a little update on the ABC. After complaints against the ABC over a Four Corners report focusing on the expansion of the Australian War Memorial in Canberra, the ABC Ombudsman has cleared the ABC. How about that? The ABC clears the ABC. You'll remember I highlighted this complaint earlier in the week. It involved the reporter Mark Willesee, who we've previously focused on because his reporting for the 7:30 show had seen the ABC caught out badly for re-editing vision and audio, changing the order of events and adding additional gunshots to suggest that footage of our soldiers shooting at suspected terrorists in Afghanistan was actually our soldiers murdering innocent civilians. This was disgraceful stuff, and it was forensically unpicked by Afghanistan veteran Heston Russell. The ABC initiated an investigation into that, and they found that this dodgy editing happened, but it declared that this was not deliberate. It was all an accident. The official report said there was no evidence anyone at the ABC, reporter, producer, editors, or anyone at higher levels deliberately doctored, falsified, manipulated, or distorted information, material, or evidence in order to mislead audiences. But it did happen. The edits did happen, and the ABC apologised and it took down the video. Anyway, back to the War Memorial issue, which was also a story put together by Willesee. And this time he was reporting for Four Corners. Now, the complaint was actually made by the War Memorial chairman. That's the former Labor leader and Defence Minister, Kim Beazley. There were a number of issues raised, but the one that we focused on was the way the ABC used audio of the last post over construction footage, which could have given the impression that construction work was carrying on during a last post ceremony. Have a look.
The inheritors of Charles Bean's simple, solemn vision are now massively expanding the memorial. This place of commemoration is also a construction site.
You've seen it, you make up your own mind. The ABC's Ombudsman has looked at this and they've dismissed the complaint, declaring that Four Corners was correct, that no reasonable viewer would interpret this series of scenes as a continuous sequence. Even a viewer who might have got the impression that the recording of the last post was live audio from the ceremony in the first or second scene would have understood that it was then borrowed as a unifying musical soundtrack for the following related but separate scenes. It follows that the episode did not suggest that construction noise from the development site had disrupted a last post ceremony. Well, I say bunkum. The ABC Ombudsman, surprise, surprise, has been too eager to clear the ABC. Are they suggesting that Beazley and others at the War Memorial are not reasonable viewers? But get this, the ABC has now sent a complaint to us here at Sky News, complaining about the way that I've highlighted this complaint. I mean, give me a break. Don't they have anything better to do, like perhaps get their own house in order? Now, I've not claimed that this was deliberately misleading by Four Corners and Willesee. They may well have simply been using that music to bind their story together. But I reckon this sequence clearly would have given the impression to some viewers that construction work was banging on while the last post was being played. And the War Memorial was quite within its rights to complain about that and demand that it's made clear to ABC viewers that this had not happened, and in fact they say it would never happen. The War Memorial's director, Matt Anderson, said, "We are disappointed but not surprised by the ABC Ombudsman ruling, and they're marking their own homework." The ABC loves to bag our defence forces and defence personnel, doesn't it? We've seen that time and time again. And now they've turned their sights on the War Memorial. They should be more careful about the impression they give, especially when they fiddle around with audio and pictures in a way that could give a false impression.